Hey everybody, I'm Ben Gromicko from Internachi, and you are watching a Nachi TV episode. We do free online live webinars for home inspectors on various topics. Sometimes it's about performance inspection, sometimes it's about marketing and business. Today we have a special guest, or two guests, Aaron and Austin. They're from Young Professional Inspectors, and this is the next generation of home inspectors in the industry. And today we're going to talk about a different kind of perspective, including a fresh take on using technology, online marketing, and a commanding presence. Um, and if you have any questions for today, great. Feel free to ask them. Somewhere on your screen, there's some kind of window with a chat or field area. Just type in your questions, say hello, and then we'll get to your questions if you'd like to ask them during the webinar or after the webinar. Austin and Aaron will have contact information. And if you also are interested in chatting on Facebook, we're Facebook Live right now. But while I have you, let me tell you something that's coming up. We're having a National Home Inspector Convention. It's over a year from now. So it's in 2020, October 2020, in the fall, and it's in Southern California. And that is a perfect time to visit Southern California. It's a little bit east of LA, so that's great. Spend some time there, go on a business vacation, and spend time with a ton of inspectors, and we're gonna have a really good time. This is 2 years ago, we were in Atlantic City. We had a really nice convention above a casino. It's not my kind of thing. Last year we did a fairgrounds, kind of family oriented. This year it's a traditional convention site. This is a huge, big convention site. So it's going to be really nice, and we're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to feed people, and there's a lot of hotel deals and all this stuff. So start saving the date, start planning on visiting Southern California in the fall of 2020. It should be a lot of fun. And let's see, I see a lot of people on Facebook, and David says hello. All right, so what I do is I just give control to my presenter, Aaron and Austin. So Aaron, on your side, something should have popped up.
Yep, it
Awesome.
should be all good to go. Are we all
Hey,
set?
folks, thank you for the time to do this presentation for us on Nachi TV. It's really an honor, and thank you very much. I met you a while back, and I was totally impressed. So what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about a few things which I'll get into, but Ben, I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity. And like you said, it was such a great honor to meet you in Colorado a few months ago. And I hope to come back, fly out to Colorado again because it's such a great time being there at Internachi. You guys are really doing some amazing things.
Thanks.
So. But we're going to talk about a couple different things with the next generation of home inspectors and my experience. My name is Aaron, and Austin's experience in the home inspection industry as young professionals. We're both recent college graduates. So we're going to talk a little bit about technology and the use in this industry, some online marketing tips, things that we've known from social media and the trends that things are going, and then also command presence, having that command presence as you're a younger inspector and let's say not so seasoned or not so experienced, what you should do to make up for that lack of experience or lack of seasonality. But first, let's just start in with talking about us. So I'm going to discuss how the young professional inspectors began. Many new inspectors are entering our market at a much younger age. The I know a guy mentality towards home inspections is drifting, and as the industry becomes more formal, realtors are now looking towards more professional companies or professional home inspectors rather than the I know a guy mentality, my uncle knows about homes. And also younger generations are starting to buy homes. Their purchase process, how they think about the purchase process is much different from older generations. A lot of them may be purchasing smaller homes. You hear all the time that millennials are having a tough time purchasing homes, but we wanted to discuss a little bit about their mentality and the changes that are coming. So first I want to transfer it off to Austin Heinz.
Thanks, Aaron. So my name's Austin, as he just mentioned. One of the co-founders of Wolfpack Advising. We are an online presence management company. So along with Aaron, we did found Wolfpack Advising. Also the VP of Operations at Waypoint Property Inspection. So we're a multi-inspector firm based out of the Tampa, Florida area. It's interesting, this presentation looking at the different takes on the home inspection industry. So I myself am not a licensed home inspector. I'm more focused on the business operations side. So when we talk about technology, it's implementing that within the business to help streamline our operations. Also a co-founder with Aaron of the Young Professional Inspectors. And then I also am a coach at the Mastermind Inspector community of a team there, and also graduated from the University of South Florida in 2016 with a business management degree. Then Aaron, go ahead and pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Austin. So I am also one of the co-founders for Wolfpack Advising, an online presence management company. We found a lot of issues with some online presence companies, things with web design, SEO, and that's something Austin and I have been doing since we were about 16, 18, going into college. We were kind of building websites, getting familiar with those things. I'm a home inspector and marketer. My full-time job is in home inspections at Honor Services here in Melbourne, Florida. I'm also the co-founder of the Young Professional Inspectors with Austin Heinz, and I'm a recent college grad from the University of Central Florida, and my degree is in integrated business, so it's small business ownership in today's market. Going forward into tech use, we're going to discuss two parts of tech in this industry. The first one is inspection process. So what you may be utilizing during your inspection process to help you be more efficient on your inspections and help your clientele understand your findings a little bit better. But we're also going to discuss the office operations. So Austin's going to talk about in his office what technology he may utilize to help his office become more efficient and to deliver better service to his customers. One thing I wanted to discuss with tech use is there's this big thing with drones, and I wanted to ask two questions with drones when you're utilizing it for your roof inspections. Obviously, there's a lot of dilemmas when it comes to can you actually fly these due to the FAA restrictions, but I wanted to ask, how does it help you? So maybe it limits the amount of money you have to pay on your insurance because now you're not climbing roofs. Maybe you're just not comfortable going onto roofs, so you use these drones, so then that way you don't have to go onto these roofs, or maybe it's a 3-story or a 2-story to where you can't quite get up there. But then also, how does it help your client? So depending on the camera capabilities, maybe does it have some limitations? What are those limitations? What are the costs compared to the pros of this drone? This is not to say that drones are bad. This is not to say that we should use drones, but something to get you thinking in technology use. So during the inspection process, what is going to save you time on the inspection? Is it a tablet use? Is it a phone use? Is it just computer later on? I know with my personal experience on these inspections, I have a camera that I have in my hand at all times. I never pull out my phone. I never pull out my computer. And it's about doing one item at a time with that camera. And then once I'm done with my inspection process is the time I pull out my computer, upload all my pictures, and then start the report writing process. I find doing it that way is more efficient rather than maybe having a mobile app on my phone or a tablet in my hand while at the same time I'm trying to look for deficiencies in a home. So you also have to think about what's going to save you time on your report writing process. You can try various software systems that are out there. Eventually, I like to point out that you should settle on one because the habitual use helps with your efficiency and realization of possible shortcuts. I don't know if you've ever switched systems, for instance, from an Android to an iPhone or from a MacBook to a PC, but there's so many shortcuts you can learn as far as with the keyboarding or with your phone using your finger in a certain way. So then that way it becomes so much faster and easier over time. Sticking to a report writing software, for instance, for 1 year may give you that enough time to become so proficient in it that you don't want to try another software system. And then also you want to think about what's going to be most beneficial to your clientele. So if, for instance, on the drones, if you're using a drone, are you going to be able to pull up on those shingles? Are you going to be able to actually feel the shingles when you walk on them? Same thing with tiles. But the main point I want to make is that tech is ever changing, and you should consider looking into newer systems to innovate your process. I know a lot of times I just think creatively in my head about the new technology that's coming out. So Austin, if you want to discuss some of the technology you use in your office operations.
Sure. Thanks, Aaron. So yeah, in the office, I try and do as much as I can to streamline our operations and then make sure we're using our time effectively. My client care coordinators that are in the office, they have a lot going on a daily basis. So I just want to make sure that we are fully taking advantage of their time and not overwhelming them with too many tasks. So let's go over some of the systems we use. Number one is scheduling. I know the big one out there is ISN, the Inspection Support Network. That is what we currently use. Now, one thing that goes into this too is when you're talking about implementing a system as big as ISN can be, is really taking the time to learn the ins and outs of it to make sure that you have it set up in a way that's going to benefit you the most. A lot of times what I see are inspection companies that have set it up and they just have gone with that over years and they've never actually gone back to reevaluate it to make sure that it's now fitting their current business model. Client Realtor database, this ties in. If you're using ISN, they do a really good job of keeping a database for you that you can make sure is up to date and has notes in it and track how many inspections you're getting from certain realtors and repeat clients, things like that. Another one is marketing campaigns. So I currently use in the office a system called Active Campaign. And the reason I use it, it allows you to build flows and different trees on how you want actions to happen. So I can set it to where, let's say a day after the inspection, a realtor gets an email if they're a new agent saying, hey, looks like we just did our first inspection with you. Thanks for using us. And with a system like Active Campaign, I can track if that realtor actually opens the email or if they respond to it and trigger certain actions to happen after that, regardless of what direction we go in. So an effective marketing campaign that really takes advantage of the tech that's out there, not just haphazardly sending an email every now and then that, is not really going to get you any engagement. Automation is very big as well. This kind of ties in with the next point too, when it comes to team communication. So I know some inspection companies out there, if you are multi-inspector or you have an office coordinator or a marketing specialist, a lot of people are just using text messaging or email to communicate. I know some use WhatsApp or similar apps. We recently implemented Slack within our entire team. So all the inspectors, marketing, admin, everyone's on Slack, and we each have separate departments. Now, where I've been able to put automation into this is every time we get a new Google review or every time we get a new Facebook recommendation, I'm using a system called Zapier, which Zapier allows you to automate almost anything you could dream of, to now take that new Google review and automatically post it into our team Slack channel. So I'm not having to go and copy and paste every time we get a new review for our team to see it. It's happening automatically with the automation system. Phone system is another big one. So a lot of people use landlines. Some people may use VoIP systems. We had sort of a hybrid in our office that I recently switched over to a completely online-based phone system where anyone could essentially make a call from anywhere. Currently, I'm out of state. I'm in Delaware visiting a home inspection company up here. I could log into the phone system on my computer right now and start making calls if I wanted to and have them appear as though they're calling from my home office. So that's another big implementation system for us that we recently put in place. Project phase tracking. So there's a system out there called Trello. Trello can be used for a lot of different ways. The way that we've really focused on is new construction phase inspections. So in our area, we do a lot of the different phases when a new home is being built. And we use Trello as our project management system to find which homes are in which phase and help them move along in a visual representation that makes it super straightforward for my office to be able to see where we are in each process on each home. Client complaints is another big one. I know, we obviously don't want to get client complaints, but as you grow and you start doing more inspections, they are going to happen. And what's important is to make sure you have an actual system and process in place for handling those. What I've done in our office is actually created a form on our website that whenever a client has complaints, we direct them to that form, they fill out the form, it gets emailed to our office with the information, but it also gets sent directly to the person in our company who's in charge of handling all complaints and making decisions on them. So it's not someone calls in and our office staff is fumbling around with trying to figure out what information do we need, or is this something we're going to address? We have a process in place to direct that client so that it's the same every time and we make sure we're getting the same results every time. And many more. I mean, part of my job as VP of operations at Waypoint is I'm always looking at how I can implement systems to streamline our operations. And I know we're on a limited time frame here, and I'm sure a lot of you on the call are scrambling to take down notes of some of the systems I've been mentioning, but there are a lot more out there that we're using. So I think as Ben mentioned earlier, before we started the webinar, Aaron and I are here as resources for you guys to reach out to, and we'd be happy to provide you with more information. So Aaron, I'll go ahead and pass it back over to you.
Hey, Austin.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Austin. Well, we've got Jesse on Facebook Live asking a question. So you're saying that, do you get feedback on how many of those emails are actually opened when sent? Is that what you're saying?
I can. Yep, through ActiveCampaign, you can run reports on specific campaigns that let you know percentage of how many are opened and how many are replied to.
And Colin asks, what was the name of that cloud-based phone system?
So the name of the system is 3CX. So the number 3 and the letters C as in cat and the letter X. I am using it through a company called Servcom. That's S-E-R-V as in Victor, C as in cat, O, M as in Mary, M as in Mary. They're actually a Canadian-based company, but like I said, it's a phone system that can be operated anywhere from any computer, any phone. You could open it up on your cell phone. So real quick, just to give you a practical example, our inspectors, they don't necessarily want to call clients back on their personal cell phones because now the client has that inspector's phone number and we don't want them to abuse that. So with this 3CX system, all the inspectors get an app on their phone that they can make calls through the app so that the client, it appears that they're getting a call from our office. That way they're not getting the inspector's personal number, but the inspectors are still using their own cell phones. So it's a really cool system, and I'd be happy to provide a contact over at Servcom who can, give you some information on how it could work for them.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Ben, for forwarding those questions to us. But Ben, you mentioned all these items are going to be recorded, correct? So if they have questions or want to look back at it, they can?
That's right. That's correct.
Okay. So to carry forward into more creative viewpoints, we want to set aside time to think creatively about your company procedures and how technology can make it easier for you. Maybe you want to jot down some pain points within your company about what is what are some struggles for you to where technology might be able to make things easier. Things like the internet phones Austin was talking about, or ActiveCampaign. Some of the creative thoughts that I've had is, can I do the home inspection with an iPhone 11 Pro? You notice how those iPhone 11 Pros came out with 3 cameras. Can you do the whole inspection process with that? Can I just use a business expense to buy a new phone? That's the more important question. But can you also use a chest-mounted GoPro for an entire inspection while discussing your findings? So maybe there's a way to where you can just mount a GoPro on your chest, do the inspection, talk about the inspection process, and then formulate it into a video along with maybe a shorter report, so your report writing time isn't as long. Just think about your struggles, but also your client needs at the same time. So maybe you set aside like an hour once a week to just jot down some business struggles, and then think about how those business struggles can be improved with technology and what your clientele needs. Forwarding over into online marketing, some quick facts about some online marketing, especially nowadays, we're going into 2020. After increasing the number of pages on someone's website from 10 to 15, companies saw an average increase in sale leads of 55%. So as you increase more web pages on your website, I know you may just say, oh, I do home inspections, but maybe you want to talk about what other services alongside the home inspection you do, like insurance inspections or wood destroying organism inspections, like termite inspections. Maybe you do handyman services. But then also companies that blog more on their website, blog more than 50 times per month, get 5 times the traffic. So really, when we're looking into 2020, everything's becoming online. We need to be thinking about things in order to stay relevant to our consumer base. 88% of mobile searches are for local businesses. So as a home inspection company, a lot of times maybe you're servicing one county or one major city. A lot of those searches for a home inspector near me are going to be, according to the stat, 88% of the time. And also 81% of smartphone users research products or services on their devices. So maybe the realtor gives them a list of 3 home inspectors that they should look into. Well, they're definitely going to be able to research those inspectors. And think about your website. Is your website inviting? Which we'll discuss a little bit more on your website, as you can see in the presentation. Looking at social media, the big thing is I like to talk about Facebook. Facebook is very popular and centralized. It's very focused. Everyone is on Facebook. Not everyone is on LinkedIn. You can utilize Facebook in some important ways. So invite realtors to like your page, invite friends to like your page. And one of the biggest advocates I'm for is having inspectors follow and like other inspector pages. This is huge because we know the struggle of making sure that you get enough engagement on your page. That way it feels like you're doing something. But as you get more engagement on a particular post, Facebook actually opens it up to more people. So if you post something and it doesn't get a good engagement, it won't post it more, it won't share it more. So if you have fellow inspectors, friends following your business page to where they're engaging with your content, even a simple like or a comment, it's going to be broadcasted to more of your consumer base that like your page. Post often, post fun content, hire the right company if you're going to be utilizing a social media management company. One thing I like to mention is that social media is supposed to be social and interactive, not used as a selling platform. Don't think you're going to go on social media and you're just going to sell every time and capture engagement and capture people's eyes. They're going to know that you're selling and they're going to move on. I know when I'm working and I want a distraction, I may be going to Facebook. I don't look for a distraction on Facebook because I want to be sold. I look for something funny, something that's just going to distract me from my work. So outreach on Facebook. One company that is partnered with InterNACHI is Inspector Media and their social media program if you want to look at them. But you may also follow our company Facebook pages. I know I do a really good job with posting every week, about 3 to 5 times a week on our services page. So that's facebook.com/Florida Inspections. And then you can follow Austin's as well, which is facebook.com/waypoint.property.inspection. So the importance of web presence, we notice the importance of web presence through those quick facts. So a website should be modern, deliver information quickly, and then offer a call to action. When somebody searches for something, they're looking for a question to be answered. You should answer that question, and then you should offer a call to action based on that question. You should blog often to show your expertise, which we now know about. You should promote your Google reviews. This is very important for local searches. And then think with mobile searching in mind. So is your website that you have up, does it look pretty on your mobile phone? If you put in the URL on your mobile phone for your website, can you navigate your website? Can you order an inspection from your website on your mobile phone? Just some things to think about. If you don't have these items, seek professional help. You can talk to a web design company, or you can take the time to learn yourself. I know Austin and I, we took the time to learn ourselves a few years ago, and here we are now doing it for other inspectors or other people. One thing I want to discuss with this website is some of the pieces we're looking at are, one, do you have a blog page? Can they call you directly from the website if I'm on the phone? Can you schedule online? And then also we have some really great USPs or unique selling points. So Austin offers a same-day report, buyer's guarantee, moving assistance, and a home warranty discount. So when I'm a buyer and I'm looking for a home inspection company, I immediately get put into this awesome picture that says you're great at Tampa home inspectors. And then I get sold with these awesome unique selling points that makes Austin different from the competition. I can look at their expertise through their blog. I can call if I have questions, or I can just immediately schedule online. As someone who is a millennial or a Gen Z, I want to be able to just do everything on my phone. I don't want to have to spend the time to call somebody. So the World Wide Web in general is interconnected, ever-changing, and becoming more vital to regular business. If you want to stay relevant, you should keep up with the newer generations. One thing, or a big topic now, is SEO, search engine optimization. How do I become #1 on Google? How do I show up in searches? You can become an expert yourself if you do your website yourself. You can read, or you can talk to a professional company. But the biggest thing is SEO is your online footprint. You want to be as many places as possible. So the last item we're going to talk about is command presence and the importance of it. People judge based on appearance. There's no way to get around it. So if you're a younger looking inspector, I know I'm 22 years old, but I look more like I'm 16. People are instantly judging me when I roll up to an inspection. So I have to think of things a little bit differently than other inspectors. Like, how my hair is kept. Are my pants clean from crawling in the previous attic? Am I wearing a polo or a shirt? Is my polo clean? Do I have confidence in what I'm discussing? So when I do my end of inspection presentation with the client and the realtor, do I have confidence in myself when I answer their questions that may be difficult to answer? If you're not confident in your abilities, your clients, your realtors, people will not be confident in you. So that's something to remember. One thing I always like to think on myself is I find the weaknesses within myself and focus on them. So if you want to find your weaknesses, take an hour out of your day, out of your weekend, write down your weaknesses maybe in the home inspection process, and then go to InterNACHI courses, talk to the people with InterNACHI to where you can focus on those weaknesses. Maybe things like electrical you're not so confident in, or plumbing systems you're not so confident in. Write those systems down and make sure that you pinpoint those so that way you become more proficient in those items. So I wanted to finalize with how you can contact us, how you can reach us, because I'm sure a lot of you may have some questions. The first one is our website, wolfpackadvising.com. So we have 2 great blog posts that are up for you that talk about web design, that talk about search engine optimization. You can read that on your own and contact us if you have questions. Another item is our Facebook website for the young professional inspectors. You can go to facebook.com/groups/young professional inspectors to be able to join in on the conversation of some of the creative items or innovative topics we're discussing. One of them may be inspector licensing, or some marketing ideas, or different tactics that you use in your inspection process. You can also join our chapter page. So if you just go to nachi.org/chapters/young professional inspectors, you can join us there and keep up to date on what we're discussing. And then also you can reach out to me on Facebook directly. So if you want to just copy my name right here, Aaron Shishilla, you can find me on Facebook, friend request me, and then message me directly if you have any questions. Whenever I have time, I know I can open up my phone and just respond to you. But at this time, I think this concludes our presentation. Ben, did you want to mention anything? Do we have any questions?
I took a ton of notes. I'm showing my notes. So I have a ton of comments and questions, but let's see. Clay asks, is there an age group for the young professional inspector group?
There is no age limit. We had it open to everybody. And honestly, my personal opinion on it is, as long as you're willing to think creatively, innovatively, we love to have you. I mean, that's what it's about. There's really no age limit. Besides, our mindset is thinking about the next generations coming in and the creative processes, what we can do different in the home inspection industry. So there is no age group. I think in some descriptions we have the age limit set 18 to 35, but it's nothing like it's a strict thing that we're actually checking your birth certificate on.
Cool. And when I was a young inspector in my young 20s, just like you, I realized that real estate agents needed to trust me. I needed to get their trust. And that simply is just being consistent with your work over a long period of time. And eventually people will start asking for you to show up at the inspection. And also Austin talked about getting complaints. I love getting complaints because I just want to change the way we're doing things. So receiving complaints is one of the best things, and taking action on it, like Austin said. But the other thing Austin also mentioned was the past clients. I mean, that is a gold mine for some experience. When you get into the business and you have a year's worth of past clients, just soft touch them. That is an amazing amount of gold that's just resting on the table. A lot of home inspectors just pass that kind of stuff up, but that distinguishes you from all the rest. So after 10 years or 15 years of being in the home inspection business, you have like this huge big gold mine that you can tap into. Let's see, I'm looking for other questions on Facebook and through GoToWebinar. Fellas, Austin and Aaron, it was really great. Thank you so much for being with us on NACHI TV and sharing your knowledge and time with us. It was really great to have you.
Yeah, no, I greatly appreciate it. It's an awesome channel that you have. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thanks, fellas. I hope to see you soon at some event or a convention or something online again. And thank you very much, Aaron and Austin. I'll see you soon, and bye, everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the Young Professional Inspectors. Bye, everybody.